Well, welcome back to the Clueless Catholic podcast. Today we are going to do Leviticus 8 through 15.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to try to summarize a few things because a lot of it, again, we have a lot of repetition. But chapter 8 is where everything God has been describing finally becomes real. This is the ordination of Aaron and his sons as priests, the official beginning of the priesthood. So Moses gathers the whole community, and in front of everyone, he washes them, dresses them in sacred garments, and anoints them with oil. And it's very visible, very intentional, and basically just showing that they're set apart for something holy. And then sacrifices are offered, but they're only offered for the priests themselves first. Before they can help anyone else come to God, they have to be made right with God. And finally, they're told to remain at the tabernacle for 7 days, fully dedicated to this role, not rushing in or out. It's like a complete reset and preparation period. So the big takeaway is that you don't just step into something sacred casually. God chooses, prepares, and sets people apart, and it's done His way, not ours. Then we go to chapter 9, and this is where the priests actually begin their ministry for the first time. Everything in chapter 8 was preparation, and this is the first real day on the job kind of idea. So Moses tells Aaron to offer sacrifices, first for himself and then for the people. Again, the same theme shows up. Even the priest has to be made right with God before he can help others. And Aaron carefully follows every instruction. The sin offering, burnt offering, peace offering, everything is done exactly as God commanded. And then after all the sacrifices are completed, Moses and Aaron bless the people, and the glory of the Lord appears to everyone. Fire comes out from their presence of God and consumes the offering on the altar. And when the people see it, they shout for joy and fall face down in worship. So with this, I think the takeaway is that when God's instructions are followed, His presence shows up. And this chapter is the moment where obedience meets encounter and the people experience the reality of God in a powerful visual way.
We'll get to the good stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say I had to kind of breezed over that because it was a little bit boring for me, but all right, chapter 10. Aaron's,
What's his son's name?
Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. Nadab and Abihu.
There you go.
Did I get it right? Huh?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, put coals of fire in their incense burners and sprinkled the incense over them. And in this way, they disobeyed the Lord by burning before him the wrong kind of fire, different than what he had commanded. So fire blazed forth from the Lord's presence and burned them up, and they died before the Lord. Oh, so Aaron's sons did not do what the Lord wanted him to do in the right way, is what I got out of that, right?
Well, yeah, there's a quote there. This is as the Lord said, "Through those who approach me, I will manifest my sacredness. In the sight of all the people, I will reveal my glory." In other words, even they weren't, like you said, they weren't following the rules, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so God's going to use that to manifest his glory in front of everybody.
What did I miss there? Anything?
Well, I think reading that is important because it's a quote from Numbers and Ezekiel that we're going to see later.
Oh, I see. So you just read. Okay, I got you. So just kind of looking over some things that I underlined, I thought were interesting for me. So they, Nadab and Abihu were killed. Moses said to Aaron, so this is 10:6. Moses said to Aaron and his sons, Eleazar, 10:6.
Oh, Eleazar and Ithamar.
And Ithamar. My version says, "Do not show grief by leaving your hair uncombed or by tearing your clothes." Is it the same?
No, do not bare your heads or tear your garments, lest you bring not only death on yourselves, but God's wrath also on the whole community. In other words, don't mourn.
Don't mourn. But you must not leave the entrance of the tabernacle, or you will die. For you have been anointed with the Lord's anointing oil. So they did as Moses commanded. That was 10:7. But I don't know what that means. So they're saying to the people not to mourn? They're saying to specific.
Just to Aaron and his remaining sons.
Oh, they're not allowed to mourn.
They're not to mourn. They're to stay there and do their jobs.
Oh.
People, he goes on to say the people will. Oh, no, it was above. We missed it. Moses summoned Mishael and Elizaphan and the sons of Aaron's uncle, Uziel, with the order, come remove your kinsmen from the sanctuary and carry them to a place outside the camp. So he had commanded others to take care of the bodies and all of that rather than Aaron stopping what he's doing.
Oh, I see. So Aaron can continue with his job.
Yes.
Okay. And they go on to do a sin offering.
It was a cereal offering.
A cereal? Like Frosted Flakes?
Oh, you said that last time.
Why are they doing an offering though? I guess that's where. Okay, so it says in 10:12, then Moses said to Aaron and his remaining sons, take what is left of the grain offering. Why are they doing the offerings? Oh, to repent of the two that did the thing wrong?
Well, the grain offering is for the people, isn't it? It doesn't say. It's just a daily offering.
Oh, so you have to go there every day with an offering?
The grain offering is daily.
Oh.
It's coming from the people. He and his sons are supposed to eat a portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to come into play here in a minute. But it doesn't say what cereal offering is for. Hold on a second. I had that looked up last week. The grain offering is a voluntary expression of devotion to God for his goodness and providence. So it goes with the burnt offering that is made for atonement of sin or for prayer or praise. But it's daily to remind them that it goes to his devotion. I knew there was a purpose for it. Okay,
so they do the grain offering, and then they do a sin offering. I'm just wondering why they had to do a grain and sin offering. That's all. And I can't.
Well, the grain offering was daily.
Okay.
The sin offering, they're probably just getting everything started, so they need to do a sin offering for the sin of the people.
Oh, I see. Okay. 10:12.
Okay,
so wait, let me back up to 10:8. So it says, basically they're talking about how to distinguish between what is sacred and between what is ceremonially unclean and what is clean. And you must teach the Israelites all the decrees that the Lord has given them through Moses. Okay, so then I go to 10:12. Then Moses said to Aaron and his remaining sons, take what is left of the grain offering after a portion has been presented as a special gift to the Lord, and eat it beside the altar. Make sure it contains no yeast, for it is most holy. You must eat it in a sacred place, for it has been given to you and your descendants as your portion of the special gifts presented to the Lord. These are the commands I have been given. But the breast and thigh that were lifted up as a special offering may be eaten in any place that is ceremonial clean. These parts have been given to you and your descendants as your portion of the peace offerings presented by the people of Israel. You must lift up the thigh and the breast as a special offering to the Lord, along with the fat of the special gifts. These parts will belong to you and your descendants as your permanent right, just as the Lord has commanded. Moses then asked them what had happened to the goat of the sin offering. When he discovered it had been burned up, he became very angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's remaining sons. Why didn't you eat the sin offering in the sacred area? He demanded. It is a holy offering. The Lord has given it to you to remove the guilt of the community and to purify the people, making them right with the Lord. Since the animal's blood was not brought into the holy place, you should have eaten the meat in the sacred area as I had ordered you. Then Aaron answered Moses, today my sons presented both their sin offering and their burnt offerings to the Lord. And yet this tragedy has happened to me. If I had eaten the people's sin offering on such a tragic day as this, Would the Lord have been pleased? And when Moses heard this, he was satisfied. I don't understand what I just read.
So they're saying, because remember, they have to eat their portion of the sin offering. And he just says to take the sins on themselves, basically. This is another messianic, not prophecy, but Christological analogy. So Christ dies in our place. He takes on our sins. So that's what this is saying, is that the priests are made holy through their sacrifices. Then they make a sacrifice for the people, and they have to eat a portion. That was all laid out last week, that they have to eat a portion. If they don't, they're not taking on the sins
of the people.
And Moses was like, hold on, you burnt the whole goat. That's not how this works. You're not paying attention. You're doing it the way you want to do it. You have to eat this part. And Aaron was saying, yes, but I was not of the right mindset to eat it. In other words, I was unclean because of thoughts or whatever, because of what happened to his other sons. So Moses was like, okay, all right, fine.
It's weird to me that why is Moses satisfied? Should the Lord be satisfied?
Well,
or is
Moses was a prophet, and so he spoke for God.
Okay. Just weird how that's worded was just interesting. Okay. Anything else on chapter 10? Okay, chapter 11. If we go to the clean and unclean, dietary laws, I guess you would say, of Israel.
Yes.
What they can eat and what they are not allowed to eat. And it starts by dividing animals into categories. On land, animals must chew the cud and have a split hoof to be considered clean. If they only have one of those traits, they are unclean. So certain animals like pigs are unclean, even though they have a split hoof because they don't chew the cud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then we move to sea creatures. Only those with fins and scales are considered clean. Anything without both, like shellfish, is unclean. So your regular fish is clean. Anything with a shell on it is not clean.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Then it also covers birds, listing ones that are not to be eaten, mostly birds of prey and scavengers. And then it goes to insects, where only specific types of locusts are allowed, while most insects are considered unclean. That was my summary. But I have to go back for just a second because I just laugh sometimes when I'm reading this. And so in chapter 11, 29, I'll start at 29. Of the small animals that scurry along the ground, these are unclean for you. The mole rat, the rat, large lizards of all kinds, the gecko, the monitor lizard, the common lizard, the sand lizard, and the chameleon. All these small animals are unclean for you. If any of you touch the dead body of such an animal, you will be defiled until evening. If such an animal dies and falls on something, that object will be unclean. This is true whether the object is made of wood, cloth, leather, or burlap. Whatever its use, you must dip it in water, and it will remain defiled until evening. After that, it will be ceremonial clean and may be used again. And then 1133. If such an animal falls into a clay pot, everything in that pot will be defiled, and the pot must be smashed. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm an animal, and I'm sitting here next to a clay pot, and I just go, like, how does this fall? It's like just happenstance. I'm an animal, and I fall into a clay pot.
Well, haven't you ever had a mouse fall into a clay pot?
Well, no, I don't have any clay pots. I had one fall into a toilet one time.
It's a clay pot. Quite literally.
And it says that the water from such a container spills on any food, the food will be defiled, and any beverage in such container will be defiled. If it is an oven or an hearth, it must be destroyed, for it is defiled, and you must treat it accordingly. Does that mean, like, if it falls in your oven, you got to get a new oven?
I imagine.
And then 1141, all small animals that scurry along the ground are detestable, and you must never eat them. This includes all animals that slither along their bellies. Why would you want to eat a snake?
I've heard it's good.
Ugh.
I've never had it.
As well as those with 4 legs and those with many feet.
Like a millipede.
Isn't that an insect?
Yeah.
We're talking about small animals right now, not insects.
It's a small animal.
Such small animals scurry along the ground are detestable, and you must never eat them. I'm good. I will not eat them. And you must, or do not defile yourselves by touching them. There you go.
You missed the part about roadkill, though.
Where?
39. When one of the animals you could otherwise eat dies itself, anyone who touches its dead body will be unclean until evening. Anyone who eats of its dead body shall wash his garments and be unclean until evening. So you can't eat roadkill.
I wouldn't want to eat roadkill. Would you? I'm good. Again, I'm good. So far, so good. These are the instructions regarding land animals, birds, marine creatures, and animals scurry along the ground. By these instructions, you will know what unclean and clean is, and which animals may be eaten and which may not be eaten. I'm impressed by the specificity. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Of this, and I have to put myself back into into this time period. What the heck is all roaming around over there? You got
Well, again, it's most of his laws are to set the people apart from what's around them. Because a rabbit you would think would be fine to eat, but it lists it here as it's not. So everybody else, so they're making pigs, all of this stuff that is eaten by other cultures.
Oh, they're eaten by other cultures. Okay, I didn't get that.
They're God is setting his people apart to look different from the outside. Why? So that they can say, well, this is because of our God. So that, in my opinion, this part is my opinion, it is to not just set them apart from the rest of society around them and the other cultures, but to open the door to evangelization. Something that, to be fair, Jews don't do a lot of. But
evangelizing.
yes,
evangelize.
So
it's not about food, really. It's just about forming awareness.
Well, I remember talking to my friend John many, many years ago, and he was like, there's ceremonial laws, and there's purification laws, and there's so they have a better understanding of how the laws are broken down. Because I questioned him eating a tenderloin once. He doesn't do that anymore, but at the time, and he was kind of justifying it by that was a ceremonial law or a dietary law, not a ceremonial law, is the way he put it. So, it's and we know that if you don't prepare pork properly,
you get sick.
You can get trichinosis really easy. The same with and you think about the things that he says are unclean in the water. Well, those are fish that eat off the bottom. Shellfish are bottom feeders for the most part. Eels are not clean because they don't have scales. But these are, again, they're not things that they're bottom feeders, so they eat trash, and it's kind of the garbage in, garbage out mentality. Well, they eat trash, and I eat them, and now I'm trash.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be teaching me, remember?
No, but this is good. We knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, now that makes more sense. Thank you. All right, so chapter 12 is purification after childbirth. I have to read this part because I was like blown away. So the Lord said to Moses, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If a woman becomes pregnant and gives birth to a son, she will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days, just as she is unclean during her menstrual period. On the 8th day, the boy's foreskin must be circumcised. After waiting 33 days, she will be purified from the bleeding of childbirth. During this time of purification, she must not touch anything that is set apart as holy, and she must not enter the sanctuary until her time of purification is over. If a woman gives birth to a daughter, she will be ceremonially unclean for 2 weeks, just as she is unclean during her menstrual period. After waiting 66 days, she'll be purified from the bleeding of childbirth. So why is it less for boys than it is for girls?
Boys are better.
No. What was that nursery rhyme about the boys and this? On the tip of my tongue.
Sugar and spice.
Yes.
Everything nice.
Yes. That's what little girls are made of. The little boys are made of
something snails and puppy
dog tails. Yes. See? So what's the flip flop here?
It's not biblical.
It's not biblical.
Remember, it's a patriarchal society. So they are going to place more value on male children than they will on female. Not that it's right, it's just that was their culture.
Okay, so it says when the time of purification is completed for either a son or a daughter, the woman must bring a 1-year-old lamb for a burnt offering and a young pigeon or turtle dove for a purification offering. She must bring her offerings to the priest at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will then present them to the Lord to purify her. What, is being pregnant and having birth a sin?
No. Well,
it says then she'll be ceremonially clean again after her bleeding at childbirth. These are the instructions for a woman after the birth of a son or daughter.
That's interesting. Let's see, what does it say in the notes?
So you can look at that, but I did some research as well. And it says basically this chapter is about restoration and rhythm. It's showing that even major life events like childbirth are brought into the structure of a sacred life with a defined process of waiting, purification, and re-entering into worship. But I still don't understand. I don't understand the why behind that, I guess. Is it because of Eve?
Hang on. Okay. Short answer, she didn't need it because she sinned by giving birth. That's a common misunderstanding, and if you read Leviticus this way, you'll end up with a distorted view of both women and God.
So tell me what it means then.
Sin offering doesn't always mean personal sin. The Hebrew term hatat, which I'm probably butchering that, is better understood as a purification offering. It is used for moral sin or ritual impurity with no moral fault involved. That distinction is everything. So the childbirth made the woman ritually unclean, not morally guilty. Why would childbirth cause impurity? This is where modern instincts push back, but don't miss the symbolism. In Leviticus, impurity is often connected to blood, bodily fluids, and contact with life and death boundaries, which childbirth involves all three. The laws aren't saying this is bad, they're saying this is powerful, sacred, and tied to the mystery of life, so it requires ritual handling.
This one says, a female child makes a woman unclean for twice as long as a male child does, and this is probably because she's giving birth to someone else who will bleed and give birth.
So it says to look forward to the Gospel of Luke 22 through 24.
I think that's what this one pointed out.
Mary undergoes the exact ritual after Jesus is born. Mary is sinless. Jesus is sinless, that she still offers a sin offering because she participates fully in the law, not because she needs forgiveness, but to fulfill it. That tells you definitively this offering is not about personal sin.
I still don't get it. I don't understand these poor women.
Well, so remember what it was saying was purification and sin are intimately linked. So it's not saying it's a sin to have the kid. It's saying that it's messy.
Truth.
And having been there for all four, I can attest it's very messy.
Was it messy?
Oh, Lord, yes.
I don't know.
You were out of it for most of them.
I was out of it. It's just because the whole ritual of giving birth was messy, and so you have to make yourself clean. Okay, that part I get because you're a mess. But then you have to wait 66 days if you have a girl and 33 or whatever. If there's a boy, that's still kind of odd to me, but that's...
In my mind, that's the patriarchal part of the society. I don't know if that's correct, but...
Okay. All right. Ready to move on to chapter 13?
Okay.
Okay, chapter 13 is all about skin diseases and how the community is supposed to respond when someone shows signs of something unclean. This chapter goes into very detailed instructions for the priests on how to inspect a person's skin, things like swelling, discoloration, sores, or unusual marks. The priest doesn't just look once, he often isolates the person for a period of time and then checks again to see if the condition has changed. If the condition is determined to be unclean, the person is declared unclean and has to live outside the camp. They wear torn clothes, leave their hair unkept, cover their mouth, and announce their condition when others are near them. It's a visible separation from the community. The chapter even extends beyond people to fabrics and garments. If mold or contamination spreads in clothing, the priest examines it, and depending on whether it spreads or remains contained, the item is either cleaned, isolated, or destroyed. So this is more to me about protecting the community from what is spreading and uncontained, and shows a system of careful discernment, separation when necessary, and restoration if healing occurs. I was just looking at, because I underline all kinds of fun things in the Bible. So that was my summary of chapter 13. But I underlined chapter 13:40. It says, if a man loses his hair and his head becomes bald, he is still ceremonially clean. And I just put on the side, good news, Dad.
Oh, jeez.
You're all good. We're going to move to chapter 14. All right, so chapter 14, it's all about what happens when someone is healed from a skin disease and how they're restored back to the community. And this chapter begins with a detailed purification ceremony. The priest goes outside the camp to examine the person, and if they are healed, there is a ritual involving 2 live birds. One bird is sacrificed, and the other is dipped in its blood and released into the open field. This symbolizes cleansing and freedom. Then the person goes through a cleansing process that includes washing, shaving all their hair, and waiting several days before being fully restored. After that, they bring offerings, sin offerings, guilt offerings, burnt offerings to the priest for atonement. And then there's also a section about treating contaminated houses. If mold or contamination is found in a home, the priest inspects it, and parts of the house may need to be removed or replaced. If the problem spreads, the house may even be torn down. If it is contained and resolved, the house is cleansed through rituals similar to the person's purification. So this shows that when something is unclean, is healed or corrected, there is a full process of reintegration, cleansing, waiting, sacrifice, and finally being brought back into community and worship. Okay, then 15.
What?
In chapter 15.
Oh, boy.
Y'all, chapter 15 is about bodily discharges.
I'm just curious. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so this continues the theme of ritual purity, and this time it focuses on, like I said, bodily discharges. Things like chronic conditions, normal bodily functions, and anything that would cause ritual impurity or under the law. This chapter explains that if a man has abnormal discharge, he is considered unclean for the duration of it, and anything he touches also becomes unclean. People who come into contact with him must wash and are considered unclean until evening. It also addresses normal bodily emissions, which still require a short period of cleansing and washing before the person is considered clean again. Then it moves to women's cycles. explaining that her menstrual period, during her menstrual period, a woman is unclean for the duration of it, and anything she lies on or sits on becomes unclean as well. After the cycle ends, there is a waiting period before she's considered clean again. When I read that, it was like when the woman's bleeding stops, she must count off 7 days. Then she'll be ceremonially clean. So if you have your period for 7 days, you have to wait for 7 more days before you can go back to the tabernacle, is how I read that, before you go to church. So if you're only go like in modern day world, if you're going to church only on the weekends, you'd only be able to go twice a month to church. That's how I read that. So that was 15. I try to keep that as clean as possible. Yesterday, Michael and I had a lively discussion in the car about bodily discharges. We won't go there today.
This seems foreign to us. ChatGTP says because we treat the body casually, we treat sex casually, and we treat worship casually. Leviticus pushes in the opposite direction, stating that these are powerful things, not that they are bad, but because they deal with life and the potential for life and life versus death, holy versus common, and clean versus unclean. Don't just walk into a sacred space however you want. You have to wait, you have to wash, and then you return. Modern culture says it's just biology. Leviticus says your body has theological meaning, which if you've ever read Theology of the Body by Pope John Paul II, that fits.
Oh. So when I was reading this, I started thinking about there's so many rules, right? And it just got me thinking about like an app on your phone, how you track your calories or your fitness or your steps or your whatever.
How you track your uncleanliness?
Yes, that's exactly where I was going. So in my mind, we have a new app called Clean Life. Okay, so just pretend with me. There's an app that you can download. This is not real. It would be called Clean Life. Daily Holiness Check. The Leviticus edition. So I'm going to ask you some questions.
Oh boy.
And we're going to see how you do. Okay. So this is just for today. Okay.
Okay.
Did you intentionally acknowledge God today?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not at all quick prayer or grace or mass or intentional time with God. So you did the third one.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep your points. So you have 10 points right now. Did you approach worship intentionally or just habit? Did you rush through it or were distracted? Were you somewhat present?
Well, that's not fair. I'm always distracted.
Or were you fully engaged? You were distracted?
I'm always distracted.
Okay, so you still only have 10. Okay, did you pay attention to what you consumed, food, media, or inputs? Were you mindless, somewhat aware, or did you make intentional choices?
Hey, don't know.
I think you were mindless.
I think you made pork.
I did make pork today. So is it mindless, somewhat aware, or intentional?
Mindless.
You're still at 10. Okay, did you care for your body, hygiene, movement, or rest?
Yes.
Did you do survival mode, basic care, or intentional stewardship?
Basic care.
You're at 15.
Ooh.
Did you pause at any point to reset instead of just pushing through?
That was my nap.
So you made an intentional pause.
Oh, yeah, it was intentional, all right.
You have 25. 25. Did you respect your limits today, energy, time, or emotions?
That was my nap.
So you honored them?
Yep.
You're at 35.
See, people, naps are good for you.
Did you allow space for rest, especially on a rest day? We just said that.
I did, yes.
Okay, so you're at 45. Okay, did you invest in a key relationship, spouse, family, or friend? Were you isolated, light interaction, or meaningful connection?
You're smiling. That doesn't make me feel good.
You were at meaningful connection.
Oh, okay.
So you're at 55. Did you act with integrity in relationships? Were you reactive or selfish, mixed or intentional, loving?
I was loving.
You're at 65. Did you do something today that supports your future self? No.
Yes.
Small step or meaningful preparation.
Yeah. I looked for business prospects on LinkedIn.
Ooh, so you're at 75 points right now. We're almost done. This last one. Did you create, serve, or use your gifts? No, a little, or yes, intentionally?
Not really.
So no? What did I tell you? 75?
Yeah.
You are mostly aligned.
I am mostly aligned.
If you would have gotten 90 to 110 points, you were integrated living. Leviticus would have been proud. But hey, mostly aligned is good because below that was mixed rhythm and below 50 was time for a reset day.
Jeez.
So there you go.
There we go.
There is Leviticus 8 through 15. Lots of rules. I think that Clean Life app would be very helpful.
I think it would make a lot of people really upset.
Oops, gotta go find your goat. Gotta go find your sheep. Like I said, I'd probably be there every day.
We have that in the confession app.
Oh, that's true. We do. The examination of conscience.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Trudging on through Leviticus. How many chapters are in Leviticus?
30 some?
Oh, we're halfway there then. We're almost there. Halfway there. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it as fun as we can anyway.
It would be numbers.
I hear numbers is a treat. Is that true?
Yep.
All right. Well, until then, let's just stay on Leviticus. See you next time. Bye, guys.